Alright, so I'm going to be attempting to repair this deep cool CPU heatsink fan. The only thing is with this design, they pinch the two layers together. You can see they have these washers here that if you push this, you can see the washer stays attached. So we have to somehow remove these washers so that we can pop these screws out and then pop the whole fan off. I'm going to see if I can do this with some tweezers. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the screw forward and then get the tweezers in there, and hopefully I'll be able to push the washer up. The problem is with these is it's shaped like how do you like an angle like this, so when it pushes down it goes out a little and then clicks back in, so it kind of holds like how an arrow goes. So when you try and pull it back up, it's gonna basically have to bend those things out the opposite way to get it out. Either that or you'd have to somehow bend these little pins up the opposite direction. But let's go ahead and try with the needle nose pliers. I'm just getting it in between, and then I'm pinching it to keep it so that now this is going the other direction. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a hammer, and let's see if we can somehow pop it the other direction. So I'm going to hold this, try and keep the whole entire heatsink flat on the table, so that way it's not like tipping up in a certain way or putting weird pressure on the fan. We want everything to be flat. And now let's see if we can somehow get it to bend the opposite way. It doesn't really want to. It bent a little bit the other way, but the problem is I don't know how we're gonna let's see, maybe if we kind of tilt it side. No, yeah, this is gonna be tough. I don't know. I guess let's keep trying. See, it's bending up slightly. Let's try and push this back up and then rotate it the other way. So now we can try and bend a different portion of the thing. Or maybe we can twist it. It doesn't want to come out. I can see it's bending. Okay. So we're just going to keep working our way around. You don't want to squeeze too tight because you don't want to be pinching the center piece. You just want it to be around underneath these portions so it can bend upwards. And if that doesn't work, we might have to just cut these off. It is bending the other way. There we go. Okay. So now you can see this metal piece is coming up. Alright, and we should be able to separate this. Oh, it's still kind of stuck a little bit, so let's kind of push this through. There we go. Okay, so now we got one of them out, and you can see how this thing looks. So basically, if you want to put it back on, you basically go back the opposite direction now. Or you can somehow flatten it out. I don't think it started out flattened out though. But we'll flatten it back out a little bit, okay? So right now it's shaped like that because the thing got pushed down and pulled it through here. So we're gonna just flatten it back a little bit. Honestly, you don't even really need to put this thing back on there. It's just so that it's easier to work with when you go to put this, because otherwise it's gonna like easily come back out. You can see, right? But you don't really need to put this back. I mean, the little washer back if you don't want to. Okay, we're gonna go for the second one. Same thing. Push that up. Oh, the washer's going down. We gotta lift the washer up. Get under there. Okay. Oops. My pliers, it has a spring so it auto opens itself, so I kind of have to keep it in a certain position. All right. What I'm doing now is I'm kind of just tilting it all different ways as I hit this. There we go. All right. Lift it up. Okay, now we can just hold this up slightly, and then here we go. There we go, second one out. They should all be the same size, so don't really need to worry about them lining up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one again, just to flatten it out. And hopefully this fan is repairable, because if this fan isn't repairable, then I'm taking this out for nothing. I guess technically you can get another same sized fan, but the thing is, the case fans, it's going to have like 2 screw mounts, so you're going to not be able to reach this down here. You might have to break the thing off, okay, if you were trying to do a different fan on there. But at the same time, I don't know if it will line up right, so try and reuse the same fan if you can. All right, let's go ahead and push this one up again. Get underneath to lift the washer up. Okay. We'll get there, underneath. All right. There we go. That one was coming out pretty easily. Hold this up and there we go. Okay, flatten this guy out as well. Okay, and the last one. After we do that, we should be able to take the fan out. Okay. Actually, can I rotate this? Okay. Oh no. I was hoping that I could pop the piece out here. Sometimes there's a rubber cover here, and then once you pop that out, you can add oil into this, but this one doesn't seem to have that, so I don't know if we can fix this fan. I can try and pop the fan propellers off. I'll have to let the customer know, because if I do that, then for sure the only option will either be to replace the whole heatsink or to, yeah, so we'll either have to replace the whole heatsink or see if I can find a fan that will work with this. Anyways, let's go ahead and pop the last one out. Oh, I'm getting good. It's coming out easier now. Okay, I'll flatten this out. Alright, I need to see what the customer wants to do. The heatsink is fine, but the fan, we'll have to see. Normally on laptop ones, what I can do is, you can see this center ring. I can push on this really hard and the fan propellers would pop off. But on this, usually on these desktop ones, I don't think I can do that. I can ask my customer if they want to be the first to have theirs experimented on like that. The other option is I can try drilling a hole through this, and if they're lucky, let me see, I don't think, yeah, and if they're lucky, I'll be able to just drip some oil down there. I can maybe drip some there and then use a adhesive or tape. Most fans, they'll have a sticker here that covers the thing, but this one doesn't have anything like that. So let me see what the customer wants to do, and I'll be back. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, so the customer gave me the go-ahead to try and take this apart and see if I can fix it. So let's try and push here. Yeah, no, I pushed really hard. You can see how it's like making dents in my finger there. So I'm gonna actually drill a hole through the top here. I'm just using this drill bit and a drill, and we're just gonna try and drill straight through the middle. It's okay if it's a little off, or it should be okay if it's a little off to the side, assuming it's designed like the other kind of fans. I don't know how I'll show this on camera because I do need to drill straight down. I can't go at an angle. So I'll just show a little bit and hopefully you get the idea. Okay, so you can see the plastic that's coming out. Okay, and here you can see, okay, so we kind of drilled through a little bit of it. You can see the little post in the middle there. I'm going to switch to a larger drill bit because I don't want to, let me see, or is the tip the same? I think the tip is the same, so it actually won't matter if I switch to a larger one because the middle portion of my drill bit, it starts out small. So we're just going to drill in and try and be careful. Okay. Oh, actually, I can see the oil in this. You can see the oil kind of coming up here. You see that? Brown oil. So the oil's already coming up, which is interesting because this fan already has a lot of oil in it. So I'm wondering why it's having that noise issue. It might be there's some contaminants in it. But sadly, since I can't pop this out, I have no way to remove that. So anyways, I'm gonna try and pull the fan propellers away. I don't know if you can see, so that the metal piece goes inside, and then I'm gonna try and drill it some more. Let's try and drill it sideways this way. Oh, it's grabbing the whole thing. Jeez. Okay, well, you can see how it kind of completely cut into there. So it went through the last layer, so I gotta pull this out, because if I just keep drilling, it's gonna pull the whole drill bit into the thing and destroy it. Okay. So now we have access to the whole, or you can see the whole inside portion here. And I don't think we're gonna be able to push this through. It looks like this end is like a big ball. So yeah. Let me see if I can drill this a little bit more, but it's probably not going to work. Because, now it's just hitting the center piece here, and I don't think I have, let me see, can I hold it down that way? Okay, that's kind of worked. Alright, so... Yep, that seems to be working. Let's try and drill a little bit more. Okay, so I think that worked. We can now toss all this plastic shavings out. Okay, and like I said, it did make some of the liquid come out. We're going to try putting some new grease into there and see if that will help. We want to get out the broken plastic. Okay, you can see actually there's not too much oil in there. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to try and clean this. I don't know if I can get the other gunk out of there. There's some gunk in there. Okay, try and get that old gunk out. And what we're going to do is we're going to twist this to kind of a more fine point, and I'm going to try and just clean around the inside there. Okay, clean that up. Alright, so what we're going to do, usually you see that whole circle shape. On some fans, this whole circle is just a little rubber piece that can pop out, but in this case, that's actually just melted plastic stuck there, so that's how they molded it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bottle of motor oil. I just have synthetic motor oil. Any kind of grease for lubricating moving parts should work well, but I'm just going to get that, and I'm going to just drip it into the hole. Okay, and I'm just going to drip some oil in there. Okay, we're going to need quite a bit, so I'm just going to hold it closer, and I'm going to just keep dripping some into there. Oh, that was a lot. It went out to the side. I didn't mean for that to happen, but there we go. Okay, now we're going to kind of just move this around to get the oil to get in there. Okay, and we're just going to keep moving it up and down. So basically, I'm grabbing the propellers, and I don't know if you can see that gap forming. Okay, so basically we're just doing that to kind of get the oil in, and you kind of spin it as you do that. Okay, to get the oil in, and you should feel it smooth up. It's getting a lot smoother actually, so it's becoming easier to move this up and down as the new oil gets in there. We're gonna then soak out the new oil with the paper, and then we're gonna put some more oil in there. But it's definitely much smoother now. Okay. Okay. and basically the impurities. Usually what happens as it goes bad, the oil gets kind of gooey, and that's what makes it stick. But if it gets really bad, then it can even cause the metal components around it to go bad. Okay. If there's like, if I had a hydraulic press that could hold this really still, then technically you can hold this up and then push straight on the metal piece down, and then you can somehow like pop the whole fan propellers out, but I don't have anything like that. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna clean this out. You can see all the oil coming out. Okay. Most of this is the new oil because we did put quite a bit of new oil in there. There's a little bit of gunk at the bottom there. Just wanted to get that out. Oh, I think that was a bug. Interesting. Or is that just plastic? I don't know. Maybe that's just broken plastic, but it looks like a bug. Oh, it's kind of goopy. Never mind, it's not plastic, it's like grease or something. So I think that's the old grease. Okay, you can see here. You can see the thing moving in. Alright, so we're going to get some more oil, put that in there. And then we're going to have to seal that up. Okay, put more oil in there. Then we're gonna again move it up and down, spin it around, try and get the oil to flow in. Okay. And that should be good. Now we just got to clean it up and then apply a piece of tape over the top to seal it. Okay. So we're just going to get some paper towel and we're just going to clean around the outside here. Okay. All right. Alright, now that we got that, we're going to use some isopropyl alcohol to clean it up so that the adhesive won't, will be able to stick, because if we don't, this has some oil on it. Okay, so we need to use some isopropyl alcohol to clean that off, and then we'll use the tape to just seal it up. Okay, so I'm just going to pour some isopropyl alcohol on the paper like this. And then we're just going to wipe over the top here. And then dry it off. Okay. Make sure it's dry. Perfect. Okay, then we just need to cut some tape to fit over that hole. Alright. And you can have it go over this whole entire flat plastic area. You don't need to just cover the little circle. Get a piece of tape here. Okay. Alright, so we have this. I'm going to cut a square. And we're just going to fit it over here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay. You can see the plastic is all shiny. Make sure that it's not shiny because of the grease, otherwise the tape won't stick. Or you can check if the tape sticks. If it doesn't stick, then we're going to have to clean it with alcohol better. Alright, you can actually see it's not sticking too well. You see if I push on the middle, it peels up easily. So I think there's too much grease on there. We're going to have to clean it better with the alcohol. Let's get some more rubbing alcohol. And pour it on. Okay, and clean it around here again. Okay. And hopefully it will stick now. I don't know, it's still really shiny, but I don't know if that's from the or just from the material. Maybe this plastic doesn't let stuff stick to it very well. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like this material lets tape stick to it very well. So I don't know how well we're going to be able to seal this off because it keeps wanting to peel back up. Oh, the oil also came back up. And I'll make sure to get all that oil out. What am I going to do if the tape won't stick to it? Let's see here. If only there was like a rubber plug design for this. Okay, try to clean this up some more here. It's looking like the tape's not going to really stick to it, so I'm not too sure what we can do, because if we put something there that's gonna just come back up, especially since the fan faces down, well, I guess technically the computer will be up this way, but if it's just gonna come back out, that's gonna be an issue. Yeah, I'm not too sure what else I can put in there to seal it off. I guess we'll just put tape and hope for the best. The one thing is it will push here if you put a thick enough layer, but that would have to be really thick, so I don't know. Can I put something there that would sandwich it to make it hold it? I don't want that material to get too hot though, so let's try a piece of tape again. Let's see here. That seems a bit better. I think it's because this circle is indented too much, so I have to go on the outer portion here. Then that seems to hold. So we'll just have to make it hold on there. So I'm gonna cut this piece to fit there a bit better. We'll just put this here and see. Oop. And we'll just stick that down, and hopefully that should be good enough. Okay, now what we got to do is get back those metal posts. Okay. Alright. Let's see how we can do this. So this, oops, let's zoom back out. So we just gotta line this back up again and then get those metal posts back in. So these, just line them all back in. I don't think there's any right direction for this to go, but let me see here. Is there any, there's no sign of which way it was facing before. I think it's the same all directions. So we'll just put it back in. Okay. Get all 4 of these screws back in. Okay. Put this back over. Oops. Okay, so we got all 4 back in now. Now we got these little metal washer things that just need to go back in. line it up here. I need a tool that will go all the way around this and just shove it down. So depending what you have, maybe you only have like the tweezers like that, like we had before. I'm gonna have to put something underneath this to raise it slightly higher, so that way we can push it down, because I don't think tightening it just into the screw will do anything. Okay, so let me see, what can I put underneath here? Technically anything that's really solid. I'm gonna just try with this screwdriver thing that I have. Okay, so I push down, I can make it go up enough. Actually, it doesn't even need to go that high, huh? Okay, so let's try with the tweezers just the right width apart, and then see if we can push that down. Kind of have to wiggle it probably. Wow, that's going to be very difficult. I don't know about that. Oh, there we go. It went too far. Whoops. Okay, so now I guess we can use the hammer to flatten it back down to the right amount. There, now it's holding itself again. Okay, you can see it's holding itself in place. All right, that's good. All right, so we're gonna do that with all four, I guess. Get this one. Up on there. Okay, and then actually we don't need to prop up underneath, we just need to wiggle this to get it to go down. Just keep going in a circle like this, and there we go. Actually, it's very easy to put these on. Okay, once you get the idea of how to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna now push this up and use that to pull it down. Actually, putting this underneath helps, because then I can lift it just the right amount. Put that in. Not quite. There we go. Alright. Let's actually get all four on. So we'll do the other two. Okay, and again we'll just go like this, and we're rotating like in a circle like this to slowly get all the little feet slightly bent enough to go down the wider part. Why is this one so much harder? Come on. Okay, it's down. We'll do the last one, and then we'll make sure it goes down far enough to finish afterwards. There we go. Okay, again, we'll lift this, and then we'll push it down slightly to make it go up higher. And then we'll just lower it down. There we go. Same thing with this one. There we go. And now we have all four reinstalled. Good to go. Alright, we're going to clean off the thermal paste, and then I just got to reinstall it like a normal heatsink, redoing the thermal paste on everything. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, I'm just going to scrape off all the old thermal paste, clean it up with isopropyl alcohol, and then put some new paste to reapply this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.